Reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network.
You're logging into your favorite game, grinding out some gear. A couple of points added to your stats, and you have a virtual beer. Max level is pretty cool, but I'll remind you here, my friend. These games are not about the goal, it's about the journey and not the end.
You're listening to MMO Reporter, brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter. And by Doghouse Systems. Choose your weapon with Doghouse Systems.
Don't forget about your ults you need to cherish. Each and every little character you've got, no matter what level they're at. Don't forget about your ults.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of MMO Reporter. This is episode 222. I'm Chris, and I am not joined by the pantless, pantful, agnostic wonder himself, Leonor. I'm not joined by a wonderful at MMO Bill. Instead, I'm joined.
Are you going solo? You're going solo, right? You're just doing this all on your own. Go ahead, please.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, oh star of stage and screen. Mr. Harry Hall comes back. Hello, Harry.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going great. I actually did stand-up last week, which is my the first time I actually did stand-up comedy. I've done stage things, I've done funny bits on stage, but this was actual stand-up comedy, doing a course with a couple of professional comedians who instructed me of the arts, and it was hella scary. It was terrifying, but it was a lot of fun to do, and I'm now ready to enter the open mic circuit and then get pies in my face and get booed off stage. Just life of a comedian.
I get my my sound effects going, but my iPad is being used for something else right now, Harry. I'm
actually so happy because you going boom ching is the highlight of my very early day. Did I mention I get up at 6 for this? Somebody going boom ching in my ear. This is the life.
Welcome. But you know what?
How are you, Chris? Yeah.
I'm slightly distracted, and I'm gonna jump ahead here, but I'll let you get to your. I'm gonna let you finish in a minute. But sorry, I just pulled out my Kanye West there. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Anyways,
so you think you're kanji now? Kanye? Damn it! You think you're a Japanese character now? Kanye.
No, I am distracted there, and our wonderful live viewers and our YouTube viewers will see that I currently am playing a little bit of Fallout Shelter, which I have to admit is a little scary in its addictive qualities. But here's the thing, Harry. It's Tiny Tower, but Fallout.
I'm looking forward to getting into it. I'm not objecting to this, especially since they've done this. They designed a free-to-play game with microtransactions, but they didn't really push the free-to-play microtransactions bit. It's kind of just a cool game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's like all this like fake 3D thing where you kind of go around here. Let me go to a bigger screen here, and you can see. It's like you go around and it changes the viewpoint into your little rooms, but it really is just Tiny Tower with Fallout feels to it. Anyways, so if I'm distracted, that's why. I'm sorry. Oh no, our chat room, Sir McLean, I'm gonna say, in the chat room says he loves Fallout Shelter, lost half his followers. And the first 48 hours had to recover slowly. That's so sad.
I think it's McLean, though.
McLean? Oh, Sir Mr. Clean. See, I was thinking Die Hard McLean, right?
No, this is the bald guy with the earring. This is Mr. Clean.
I get it. Okay. So, what have you been playing, Mr. Harry Hall?
I'm glad you asked. Mr. Barry. I have actually played. Let's start with the MMO side of things. I'm still struggling through Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm not loving the game. I'm so sorry. I want to like this game. I don't. I'm playing it on PlayStation 4. I played it on the PC during launch when it had severe issues, and they cleaned it up a lot. And it's stable. It's solid. It's fine, but I'm just not. Fine is not enough. I'm sorry. It's just. It feels like a job when I get back into the game, especially once you notice that all the scripting and all the writing and all the acting just doesn't really matter at all. It's basically just grinding towards the guys with the symbols above their heads, walking towards a certain place on the map, killing a certain amount of mobs, and return and rinse repeat. So it's not. It pretends it's different, but it really isn't.
Would you say that you're grinding like it's 1999?
I would say that, Chris. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm still I'll continue playing the Beast. So I have a better understanding of the actual player versus player bit, which I'm kind of still looking forward to. I needed to get my character up a little bit more. Planet Side 2. I'm playing that on the PlayStation 4. It just released last week. It's been in beta forever. And I played the beta and I played a little bit of it. And the weird thing is, it's not instantly fun, but I am completely intrigued by it. It's a slow burn. And I'm noticing that the more I'm playing it, and the more I get a feel of the nuances of it, the more I'm actually enjoying this game. Planet Side 2 is a online shooter, for those of you who don't know it, on a massive scale. It's kind of a... it's obviously the sequel to PlanetSide 1, which was a massive multiplayer shooter, but it has a lot of relationship with kinship to MAG on the PlayStation 3, if some people remember that. So you're in squads in this massive battle, doing objectives that are automatically generated based on the current situation on the battlefield. So on the map, a big structure might be taken over by the enemy, and then you have to amass your troops, and the computer does all that for you. So you're basically spawning, if you so choose, in a hot zone and try to take over the objective with like 30, 40, 50 of your closest friends. And it's fun, especially the moments that a lot of people bring in vehicles and you have this massive convoy of tanks and transport ships and being protected by flying things and that come straight out of Independence Day. Those moments are epic.
Now, one of the things that was really tough in the PC version that I found, at least, was the learning curve. What's that like on console? I mean, it's the same game, right? But have they done any tweaks since it released on PC?
I feel that it's still very obtuse. It doesn't really... There is a tutorial mode and there is this beginner island.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really teach you anything. It's trial and error, and maybe it's my Eve brain that's kind of happy with this. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. But it's an interesting. You have to learn by doing, and there is no way around it. It's not right. That the computer is actually telling you how all these squad-based stuff works. The weird thing is, and this is something that I'm kind of peeved about. The control scheme, you can choose your control setup, and that's rather important because you have 3 classes, and each class has its separate skill set. So you have a sniper class that can cloak for a short time. You have a general soldier type class, and his power is a jetpack, and you have a medic that obviously can heal and resurrect your fellow players. Thing is, your special skill has to be tied to a certain button, and I cannot find a setup where I can both use my special skill as a soldier, which is the jetpack, and also have a button tied to grenades, which is very odd. I have to choose between an easy access to the jetpack or easy access to the grenades, and there's no way I can granularly fine-tune my control setup. So I'm still missing something. So when I'm the most effective, I don't have the option to use grenades, which is odd. I don't know. There are some things of the console version that bug me, but the systems, the games, the idea of this massive ongoing war between three factions is actually quite fun. It gives me it kind of has the vibe of a siege in Guild Wars 2 in a way.
Cool.
If you're trying to take over an enemy stronghold, there are usually 2 or 3 control points that you have to take over, and that means actually sieging the areas and trying to get in between the walls and then getting into the inner sanctum and taking over stuff. And it feels a lot like the best parts of Guild Wars 2,
Thank you. But are you able to do stuff in small groups, or do you have to stay with the quote-unquote Zerg?
It's very Zerg oriented. If you press the instant action button, you're dropped into one of the major firefights, and it might be possible to do something in a small group, but I don't think the game is geared for that. It is geared towards those big battles, and I do think if you have a couple of friends and you are able to cooperate, you can do commando raids within the big Zerg and actually be more effective. My first hour of the game was spent just trying to run into the enemy stronghold, getting killed, and spawning at the exact same place. Yeah, so running like a chicken with its head cut off might not be the best strategy in a big multiplayer RPG, but I do think cooperation yields results, but you can very much just, if you keep your head down and play carefully, you can just go with the Zerg and don't have it feel like a Zerg. It feels much more like a Battlefield game.
Okay. Well, that sounds like fun. What about the persistent character aspect of it? Is it well done?
I do think it's well done. It's again learning curve. By playing, you gain experience and you gain a certain in-game currency with which you can purchase your upgrades. And you also amass currency with which you can buy vehicles, temporary like tanks and air. But you can only get into those vehicles after you've reached a certain level. Like you have this little quad bike that you could get into right away, but to be able to spawn a tank, you have to be level 6, I believe. So it's staggered that way, but you still have to pay for it with your currency, and you can buy your weapon upgrades and power upgrades either with the stuff that you amass by playing, or by the in-game currency that you can purchase, like the in-game store.
Okay.
And it feels very reasonable. I did not have the feeling that I first started playing without a subscription, and I'm playing with a subscription just to see the difference. And obviously it goes quicker because you have an XP boost. But I didn't feel gimped without the subscription and without the in-game cash.
That's good.
Yeah, I would say it's a free-to-play title on the PlayStation 4. And if you're in the mood for something massive, it is actually a lot of fun. But it takes some time to get into. It's not like Destiny, which is instant multiplayer madness. This is something you have to think about.
Right.
So in my third game, my final game of the list would be Batman Arkham Knight.
Woohoo! Sorry.
Which is it's an amazing experience. It's a fantastic game, and the love of Batman is everywhere in the game.
So you're not playing it on PC, is what you're saying?
I'm so happy with the PlayStation 4. I'm so glad. I've actually seen comparison videos that show that the graphics are, even if the game is running on PC, which is kind of an issue for a lot of people, then the graphics are actually less than the PlayStation 4 version, and that's just an abomination. Yeah. I mean, yeah?
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. I'm not used to that. So it looks amazing on PlayStation 4. The water just dripping off of Batman's wings is just, it's like the little details combined with this huge world that's so dreadful and colorful at the same time. It's fantastically done. I do have a couple of issues with it, and everybody has the same issue, I think, and that's the tank combat is kind of meh. I could have done without it. And platforming sections with a car, what the frick were they thinking? I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's just, we ran out of ideas. What can we do? You know what? We're going to make them jump from platform to platform in a car.
Yeah, it seems like, you know what? And it took me a long time to get, and I'm playing Arkham Knight too, obviously. It took me a long time to get, I won't even call it proficient, but my kids watched me play a little bit. I won't let them watch it because the story, whoa, holy crap.
Yeah.
But driving, they laugh and giggle because I hit everything. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, look, cars, garbage cans, light posts, buildings, everything must go.
Concrete pillars. Just go through them.
I know. And I just, oh man, I've gotten to the point now where I can power slide through most corners and only kill a few pedestrians.
Actually, they are all evil. So, and you're not killing them, you're electrifying them so they're knocked out.
So I can only kill a few bad guys. But I mean, wow, that was rough at first. It was like pinball. It really was like boink, boink, boink. I was waiting for the little sounds as I hit everything. Bonus points. Ka-ding, ka-ding.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, I agree. But I also think the game, the first bit is kind of light on the Predator room challenges. And I only played Batman Arkham Asylum before this. So that was my first, and this is my second Batman game. And Batman Arkham Asylum is one of my all-time favorite games ever. I love the way that it made me feel sinister and powerful and like striking from the dark. And it's just like my real life. It feels so good to be able to observe your enemy and then just pounce. It is, and I missed. It's less tightly designed, obviously, because now we have this big city. And what it loses, and that's the only thing that I kind of miss, is you don't have this Metrovania style, explore a bit of the asylum, get a new upgrade, which allows you access to a next part of the asylum. It doesn't have that. It is basically, it's less of a focused experience.
Yeah, but I think, okay. I'm trying to not spoil stuff here. I finished the story tonight, by the way, about 25 minutes before we started recording, and I'm not going to.
Please don't.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil
it.
anything.
Yeah.
I will say, story is freaking amazing. Love it, love it. I mean, it's ham-handed. It's not subtle in its. It's not Last of Us here, but
it's Batman.
It is exactly.
Yeah,
and it's great, Batman. Absolutely great. Like, oh wow. I'll say this. I think you've probably gotten this far already, but your friend that follows you around the whole time, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The way that they did that, because it was so unexpected.
Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about, which is good. I don't want to know anything about that anymore.
If you're at your Disruptor gun, you do know who I'm talking about. That's with you all the time.
Oh wait, I know. I do know what you mean.
Brilliant.
The
right?
surprise. Yeah. Oh, that I love that.
Yeah.
And it's something that should not be spoiled, because that is one of the most amazing story twists.
Yep.
And one of the most amazing ways of using a character to enrich the environment ever. It is up there with Portal's GLaDOS.
Yep. Absolutely brilliant. And I have to say, this will be one of the games where I think I go back after I finish the story. I don't often do that. Like I didn't go back to Grand Theft Auto and finish all the world stuff and get 100%. But I think with this one I will, because it feels like, and the little bits that I've read, spoiler free online, it really sounds like you get the most of the story by finishing all those. And the story itself, I can't tell you about the story itself.
You can't.
No.
Because then I would have to kill you.
Yeah.
I would get on a plane and get there to a cat, and then I would kill you. I'm
easily
not
the best
exaggerating.
non-MMO game I've played all year. Easily. Absolutely.
Well, I'm actually catching up on some older games that. So I've talked about Tomb Raider, the definitive edition on PlayStation 4. Maybe I'm beginning to enjoy, especially in the summer. I'm not that into the too much openness. I like to not think too much about where to go and what to do. I like the roller coaster ride more. So it's also that's also Batman needs. It is a roller coaster ride if you just focus on the story, but there's so many other side stories and side plots opening up while you're playing that sometimes just really literally scare the hell out of you because they come out of nowhere. You know what moment I'm talking about?
Yep.
Oh God, amazing! But never mind. So that's what I've been playing. So not bad for an MMO podcast. I actually played 2 MMOs. Yes.
Yeah. So I played World of Fishing. That happened.
Oh wow! Tell me, that sounds amazing.
Really? No,
not really. But I just
I'll have some. See, the problem is, and I don't even know if I should be talking about it here. I spent about 25 minutes looking to find any sort of mention of NDA or no NDA or anything like that about this closed beta that I'm in for it. Nowhere does it mention any. I grabbed some video and I've made a video to throw up on our YouTube page, but I don't want to release it because So I'm still looking. I've sent in an email, and if they don't respond, I'm just going to post it because if they're not going to let me know whether or not there's an NDA, then how am I supposed to know there's an NDA? How am I supposed to agree to an NDA if I don't know about it? So yeah, I have been, I tried that. I lasted about 25, 30 minutes. So, hey, that's something. Neverwinter, still leveling my Hunter Ranger. And like, I just am in love with this action combat that they've got for it, where I'm getting really, really adept at swapping between the stances, the melee and the range stances. And I'm finding that I'm getting really, really good at it because I get damage bonuses for jumping back and forth. I've traded into a trait that gives me those bonuses. So by switching back and forth, I do more damage. And it's kind of like the combo system in Batman, in that, you get better and more proficient in the combat, and you kind of just mow through enemies. So that's a lot of fun.
If you get into this kind of groove of skill and repetition combined, that's the sweet spot.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. I've been meaning to go back into Elder Scrolls Online because I do want to get and try out the experience in Cyrodiil and the PvP.
What are you playing on? On console, or are you talking about the PC version?
Yeah, Xbox One. Yeah.
Xbox One?
Yeah.
Oh, you poor thing.
It's fine. I wanted to compare Neverwinter and Elder Scrolls, so I wanted to do them on the same console.
That's one reason. But whenever you have this is something. Whenever you have the choice between the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 version, you choose the PlayStation. If somebody asks you if you're a god, you say yes. Ghostbusters reference. No, but you need to get the PlayStation 4 version. It is always the better version.
Okay, how is it better?
Well, in this case, it doesn't really matter, except for the fact that I'm playing the PlayStation 4 version. I wouldn't have to play this game on my own all the time. But aside from that,
you could get it on the Xbox One. You have an Xbox One.
Yeah, I could get it, but I'm not going to get the same game twice, especially a game I don't like.
I agree. So that's what we've been playing in games recently. Want to mention a great big thanks to all of our YouTube subscribers. Wow, Harry, you were away when we hit 1,000, but we did hit 1,000. We are currently at...
Did they scream in pain?
1,011 subscribers. So that's pretty darn cool. Like in all our YouTube videos, which Leonor just threw up an Echo of Soul preview, which I'll talk about a little bit later. And of course, our patrons, they are going to get first access to our new song, which I hope to release by the end of next week. I'm hoping to send out the tracks to all of our MMO Reporter crew for them to take part in this and sing their part tomorrow. So cool. I can edit all that together by next week. So all our patrons will get first look at that next week. So if you want to get a first look at the new MMO Reporter song, you need to check out our Patreon campaign, patreon.com/MMO Reporter. Harry, I think it's time for us to move along to, if it works, the news.
MMO Reporter, we really care. On MMO Reporter, people play way too many hours. We do each and every way, sometimes by.
All right, Harry, you've got some news for us this week about Star Citizen.
I would if my Google Docs didn't just crash on me.
Well, let me start it off for you, and you can jump in when you get there.
I remember the story.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I got it. Yeah, no,
Okay.
but it's start off. Yes.
Go, Harry, go.
Okay, well, actually, Star Citizen is the game that promises to bring you a universe of fun with starships and first-person shooter modes. And the last letter of this, the first-person shooter experience, is put on hold indefinitely. Apparently, the people at RSI, Robert Space Industries, what's in the name, is actually they're saying that it wasn't up to their standards, and therefore before they want to release a half-hearted product, they want to go back to the drawing board. I would prefer them to actually release a product. Because what they're basically doing now is, and this is the second part of the story. So they are, okay, I have no problems with the studio saying, okay, what we're making is not fun enough. We're going to make something else. But the next thing you get out of RSI as a news is that they're releasing a ship for you to buy in a game for $400. That's the price of a PlayStation 4. A virtual ship that isn't flyable yet because the game isn't there yet. I'm not saying that this is stupid, but it is stupid.
How much?
$400.
That
you can buy an excellent video card for that. You can buy a console for that. You can buy 400 iPhone games for that.
Holy cow!
That's a lot of iPhone games.
Bureau would like to welcome you to the Big Apple. We hope you enjoy your
And
stay.
I hate autoplay audio. That sucked.
Well, yeah, timing and stuff. But this is what okay, maybe we could what do you let's take this point by point. What do you think of the fact that they're actually putting the first person shooter stuff on hold, Chris?
I think that I'd rather see a core game than a secondary module focused on, which it seems like what they're doing. I like that they're actually focusing on this, right? They're actually going to, instead of continually expanding Star Citizen to be everything, the kitchen sink and an outhouse, now it's going to focus a little bit on what the core game is supposed to be. And maybe, I'm going to be crazy here a little bit. Are you ready? Maybe we'll actually have some sort of release of some sort. Like, move forward. They released the Arena Combat module almost a year ago now. Is it over a year yet? Right? So
I think so, yeah.
Anything that moves development forward closer to release in a meaningful way, I think is worth it. They did say specifically that the 2 months they spent on this FPS module is not 2 months lost on Star Citizen development. They were separate teams, blah, 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 all those excuses we've heard a million times. So yeah, I don't think that anyone was going to play Star Citizen for the FPS, just like no one goes into the EVE universe for Dust 512.
Well, the big difference here, obviously, is it's not like a separate game. This was supposed to be part of the experience. It is very analogous to what EVE Online is promising, and that of the landing on planets and be able to get out of your ship and have meaningful gameplay there. This is the same feature. So Dust 514, obviously, a separate game, even on a separate platform. This was supposed to be part of the experience. And I agree that I rather have a good flying in space game than a so-so hybrid of mismatched genres that don't really work.
Yeah.
But that would, first of all, demand an actual game for me to play. And I'm getting really, really fed up with a company that's promising me Wing Commander, the MMO, and is only selling me the ships for ridiculous amounts of money, but not giving me the game.
Yeah. Now
this is beginning. It is personal now. They're asking $400 for a ship called the Genesis Starliner, a spacecraft aimed at the player who's interested in pursuing an in-game career in transporting other players through the game's universe in total luxury. I don't know if you've played a video game in the last 10 years, but if you are being transported in a ship, the luxury wholly depends on the kind of chair you're sitting in.
Okay. Here's the thing. Why would you play a spaceship game to not fly the damn spaceship?
First of all,
Like,
and this is not a combat ship, right? This is what you're basically doing is, okay, we've taken off of Mars. Would you please put your seat in the upright position? Your meal service will begin soon. This is what you're doing. This is what? Why?
Yeah, so, but not just that. Okay, fine. Somebody wants to, even if it was virtual people from one place, so you want to be a space bus pilot. Whatever. They're space truckers, space bus pilots, whatever. But what about the player who's sitting, because it says they want to transport other players in luxury.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The luxury you have depends entirely of the chair you have in front of your PC. That's the luxury limit.
Oh, man. Why don't they just say, hey, got nothing to do with that $400? Can you give it to us? We'll spend it real nice.
A little southern part of the United States coming through here. I do think it's...
man.
No, but if the whole microtransaction thing of selling ships in itself, I find iffy, especially in a game like this. I mean, if you're paying for the game, you should be able to play and get the ships by playing. I hate to sound like a broken record, but I think Elite Dangerous is doing this perfectly. This is a game where you can just fly what's in the game by playing, which is what's the point of the game. But the price, $400 for a virtual spaceship. This is no longer in the realms of micro. This is not a microtransaction, Chris.
All right, here. Let me play devil's advocate for a minute.
Okay.
Now, Harry,
you're wrong.
You have to understand, Harry. They're not forcing players to do this. Players who do this want to do this. They want to support the development of Star Citizen and get a little something back in return.
God help me. If you're going to use the word choice, I'm going to choke you.
Them their choice in how they decide to spend their money. Truly, Harry, what's wrong with this opportunity to support the developers? Did you just hang up on me?
I'm kind of contemplating acts of violence here. It's no.
But there's people who are going to say that. We're going to get comments about this. I want comments this week from people. Do you agree, disagree? What do you think about this? Are you supporting this? Are you the devil's advocate, or are you with Harry here, who wants to commit acts of violence virtually? Not really. You do not need to send the FBI over the Atlantic to get.
Please, not again.
CIA,
no.
I guess it would be over there, not FBI.
Well, what do CIA? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, we have our own.
Anyways,
service.
Don't send anyone.
No, but if the game was out, if the game was playable,
right,
and we're talking about the sparkly pony here with a cargo hold. That's what we're talking about.
The official name is Stupid Star Horse.
Well, yeah. So we're talking about a stupid Star Horse.
Thank you.
In space, and I don't mind that. I mean, vanity items in the store. That's not my point. That's not my issue. My issue is $400 for a game that's not released. If they were selling something stupid and big and gaudy for $15 for a game that's already out, and people want to show off that they don't have skill but they do have a credit card, more power to them. I don't care. I really don't. But they are, and this is what I'm so mad about, that Robert Space Industries is not in the game development business. They're in the getting pledges business. And they are they're becoming the personification of all that I hate about the pre-order system.
But it's not even pre-ordering. These aren't like pre-order bonuses. It's just like, hey, throw money at your screen for a while, would ya? Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Then I've said my piece, but I'm not happy.
When they release, and if they release and it's a fantastic game, will your opinion change at all?
Well, not about this ship.
No, but about the way they've gone about their development process and backing their development process, which I have to say is over $80 million. This is nearing Destiny level of development funds, right? Destiny is over its course of its life, it'll be $300 million, but that's over the course of the 10-year lifespan of Destiny, right?
We're talking about an amount of money, the same amount of money, literally the same amount of money that was invested in the first Shenmue game, which was a huge open world game, which was in its day when it was developed for Dreamcast, the most expensive video game ever made. That's the level we're at. So we are in the Michael Bay blockbuster level of funding.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they still need $400 more.
At what point? Like. But here's the
thing. If they don't have it now,
if players are buying it, why not offer it?
Sorry?
If players are willing to buy it, why not offer it? Maybe there's a pent-up demand for useless pieces of junk that you can fly in space.
Look, if the choice argument is that it is not the point. The point is, they want to be rewarded for being good at getting more money. And I would like to reward a company for putting out a product that I enjoy. And if they charge, let's say, $400 for the entire game, and it's the most amazing game ever, and I don't have to pay a subscription forever for this game to play it, and it has all the trimmings of what I want, it would be expensive, but it would be something reasonable. That would be in the lines of the Lord of the Rings lifetime subscription, which was, I think, $300 at the time.
Wasn't it?
How much?
I thought it was $200.
Well, $200. Okay, but $200 still sizable chunk of cash for an MMO.
Agreed.
But we would be in that range of, I mean, it's like 2015 inflation.
Yeah.
But it's.
Okay, we got to move along. We're just talking about the same stuff. We're going to mention our sponsors real quick here before we get to our last few news stories. Want to talk about Audible? Go to audiblepodcast.com/MMO Reporter. You can check out their audiobooks there. They are absolutely fantastic. Working my way through Wheel of Time myself. You can check out all sorts of different books. One of my favorite narrators for the books is actually Will Wheaton. I think he does a fantastic job narrating the books that he
I have a better advice. There's a better one than there's a better one.
Yes?
Yeah, if there's one book you should listen to on Audible, it's the Magic 2.0 series, and the first part is called Off to Be the Wizard. And the book is okay, it's fun, but the narration is freaking brilliant. Off to Be the Wizard.
Okay. So that's your recommendation for this week?
You should definitely, if you have a free credit, this is not something you're going to regret. It's a very, very fun listen. I listened to it all the way while I was running, and I hate running, but I didn't care because I was listening to this book.
Eventually was able to tease out some recognizable information.
Is this the one?
Whoever made this file knew a lot about him.
Yes,
he was irritated to find his height was wrong.
But the guy plays all his characters.
Oh, really?
And he does that fantastically. They are so distinct, and he breathes so much life into the characters. This is his normal, like, I'm telling you what's happening voice. Yeah. But his characters are fantastic.
4.4 out of 5. I'll throw a link in the show notes for anyone who is interested in that particular audiobook. And of course, our friends over at Doghouse Systems, use the coupon code MMO Reporter for a free 120 gig solid state drive with your purchase. Let's move things along.
So I ask, please don't delete my guy after beta. Please don't crush that part of my soul. Please don't delete my guy after beta. Please, my my guy makes me feel whole. Please don't.
All right, so we've got some WoW news this week. We haven't talked about WoW in a few weeks. I think all four of us, well, Leonor never had a subscription, but all three of us who did have subscriptions have all let our subscriptions lapse and have not continued on. But patch 6.2 has come out, and as part of this, they are having a play free for 7 days, come back to WoW sort of thing. So we'll have a link in the show notes to that if you want to check that out and check out this new patch. There is a new zone, Tanan Jungle. The big thing, though, Shipyards, which is an expansion to the Garrison system, which will have ships in it, funny enough. As well as a new raid, Hellfire Citadel, which is the last raid in the Draenor series of raids here for Warlords of Draenor. And last but not least, some new armor sets and some new battle pets. So if you're into any of that stuff, Harry, do you only go back for expansions, or do you ever go back mid-expansions for new content and stuff like that?
Well, sometimes I do. But usually it has to be winter. I never get into WoW in summer. That's just not my season for WoW.
Winter is your WoW season when you can't go outside?
Yeah, basically.
See, it gets so hot here we can't go outside in the summer.
Well, my summer days are... my rhythm is I write my books in summer and I play my games in winter. That's kind of my thing.
Awesome. That's really cool. I'm looking at this. I'm thinking it might be interesting. I want to try out the Shipyard. I want to try out the new zone and stuff like that. And the way they do the LFR, they're looking for raids now and having that available. I did go through all of the raids so far in this expansion. And so I might just wait a little bit until the raid is in LFR and jump in. And this will be the first expansion where I can say I've gone through every raid in some capacity in WoW since launch. Even when I raided in WoW, I only did the first two raids. Mm-hmm. I never did Ice Crown Citadel. I don't know if you ever did. I never took down the Lich King. So
I've never done raids in WoW at all.
Oh, really?
I did. I did heroic dungeons at the end of the last expansion.
Yeah.
But that's basically my that's the top of my endgame experience.
I wish there was a way we could play together, do some LFR. That'd be fun.
I think I would like World of Warcraft again, but this is a game you don't play for 5 minutes. That's the thing.
Sorry, singing Frozen. I apologize.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, go check it out if you're interested in WoW. The 7 days, I think, is a great way to get people to jump back in and see whether or not they like the Shipyards, whether it's going to be something that's going to bring them in, and whether the battle pets are worth it. Apparently, Hagu says I should go kill OK with your 100. I don't get that, but that's okay. Last big news story for this week: Skyforge open beta July 16th. Now, Harry, I don't know. Have you been around when we've talked about Skyforge at all? Oh, IK.
No, I wasn't.
So, what is kind of interesting about this one is you're an immortal, and you get followers, and you have a multi-class system similar to Final Fantasy XIV in that you unlock the classes and then you could switch Lich King. Thank you. That's what that Hagu was saying. I should go back and kill the Lich King now with my level 100, which is a good idea. But anyways, back to Skyforge. You can unlock and switch the classes at any time that you want. I was actually playing one of the advanced classes in the last little bit. Oh, I should have put that in my list of what I've been playing. Skyforge. Yes, I'm working on a video for that. Duh. But yeah, I've been playing the Alchemist, which is kind of an AoE support class. Quite fun. But playing it from the very beginning. So you level the classes and you level your character, but you don't have levels. You have power. Reminds me a lot of the Star Wars Galaxies way of sort of through experience. You get points, then you kind of work up through that. It's not through use, so I don't build up if I use the specific weapon, I don't build up that weapon a whole bunch, but you build up that class by using that class, and then your character has a level as well. So it's really interesting in that way. Some interesting stuff that it's pulling in from all over the place. It is a port from Russia. And it goes through my.com, which is a little bit different. But I've been enjoying it. Now, the cool thing is there's early access on July 9th for founders, people who have paid. But then in the open beta, and after that, the early access open beta and everything after, no more wipes. So that means people can go in, try the open beta, and not have a wipe at the end of it and buy the game because they liked it and keep going. So
Okay.
I think that's kind of cool.
I'm kind of intrigued now by this.
Yeah. So it is going to be free to play. So once it goes into open beta, you can do that. I'm trying to figure out what the microtransactions and stuff is. Premium status and a cash shop, like cosmetics and stuff like that. So it is free to play though, so people can go into the open beta and not have wipes, but it is still beta. Really,
I'm so happy about the whole free-to-play thing getting so more refined.
let's call this open beta what it is and call it a soft launch.
Yeah.
Can we just do that?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, can you remember the launch of Allods Online, which was not really free-to-play since you needed to pay a lot to be able to progress after a certain level,
Yes.
just to get experience.
Yeah, and this is Obsidian Entertainment and Allods that put out this game. So
Yeah, but I'm hoping they've learned from their earlier
I
experience.
really got no experience of the cash shop playing the betas that I've played in. None.
Oh, that's good. It's very good.
Yeah. So that's really cool. So go check it out if you are interested in some free-to-play MMO goodness. Let us know what you think, too. Maybe we'll get a crew out there of MMO Reporter listeners and crew and people. Couple quick mentions. Now, have you ever played Arcade Legends on your iDevice or Android device?
No, I have not, and please don't even suggest that I use an Android device.
Oh,
That's
I'm
just
sorry.
wrong.
I'm sorry. I have played it. It's okay. I can never get... No, but my problem is not the game. The game is good. My problem is I can't play an MMO on a mobile tablet. It doesn't work for me. This is a personal thing. But there's a lot of people playing Arcade Legends because I go in there and everywhere that I go, there's lots of people and it's not the same names. So it's not like I'm just around the same people all the time. There's just a lot of people in game. They've got their 6th expansion to Arcane Legends, which is called Rage of the Rengol. 3 new dungeons, 2 new races, and in-game immortality. The players who contribute the most during the limited time event around this expansion will be immortalized by a handcrafted statue of their character erected by space-time artists to stand forever in the town of Goretta. That's kind of cool. No?
Yeah, well, to stand forever is kind of a big claim.
Virtually.
The
forever.
year is 3025. The world's been taken over by lizards, but one server still runs and shows the artist's statue in the town of Goretta forever. No, it doesn't. It's like 2 years tops.
I don't know. It's mobile too, so yeah. Last quick mention here, Guild Wars 2 new Mist champions they've announced. We'll have a link in the show notes if you want more details about this. Turai Osa, battle-hardened warrior, can summon a protective barrier. Oh, I should say, these are summonable, purchasable champions for the strongholds stuff. Which
Explain how this works. I mean, you're not talking about a playable character, but this is kind of like a battle pet, right?
No. So it's kind of like a MOBA in that you are... Strongholds kind of has this... you fight towards the enemy champion, and you want to kill the enemy champion. The enemy lord, they call it. So you're trying to go through that, kind of like a MOBA. And then the champions are minions, for lack of a better term, that you can summon. You purchase them, and then you can summon them to fight with you in the game. So kind of like pets, but not really, because they're on AI and they're not following you around. They'll have a path towards the enemy lord. Like
okay, I kind of get it. So just like your creeps will head towards the enemy next enemy
right
choke
yeah.
points.
Yeah.
this one will too. Okay.
Right, yeah. And so they've got three: Turai Osa, Nika, Obsidian Flame Assassin, and Grimsvard, Sailor and Sword for Hire. The Turai is a defensive support character. Nika is the stealth one, so they can stealth the whole team. And then Grim can call in cannon barrages. So kind of cool stuff for Strongholds. Can't wait to see more about that as the expansion gets closer to launch. I'm kind of getting excited about different things. Although I have to say I'm not as excited about after having played in the last beta, not as excited about the verticality. I kind of find it annoying. The zones being kind of stacked. Yeah, kind of sucks. Maybe it's because I didn't have my glider yet, but it really sucked without my glider.
I do think that sounds like kind of the crucial elements to the verticality, that you have at least the power of flight.
2 and a bit hours and I didn't get my glider, so maybe I just suck.
But I do like the idea of being frustrated by the terrain to make the impact of actually being able to fly bigger.
Yep.
I can see some merit in that.
Yep, I agree with you. I have some sad news though.
Tell me about the sad news. Tell me about the sadness.
Super Adventure Box is on hold until after the expansion. I know.
Well, that is actually kind of sad.
It is. I liked Super Adventure Box. It was fun.
Super Adventure Box was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's the way for the developers to go crazy, basically.
Yeah, and a little 8-bit stuff. It was just fun. Last but not least, Leonor has taken a look at Echo of Soul, as I mentioned earlier. He did a video preview of it. He's going to have a few video for the First Report series where you can check out him playing the game. This is the one where when you were away here, we had a long discussion. Oh my God, there's like a wiener dog mount in Echo of Soul. I'm watching this video and it's like a wiener dog mount. If you're listening,
Harry, we were having this very long discussion. Oh my God, it's a wiener dog mount.
if you're listening to this audio, you need to go back to the site when you get home and you need to look at the video version of this because and look at the stream, Harry. Look at the stream, you'll see it. It's a wiener dog. Yeah.
Stream. Yeah, I see it. It's not a wiener dog. This is a golden retriever.
No, let me go back a little bit.
Wiener dog is lower and has 6 paws. No.
6 paws.
Well, they do have in the Netherlands.
So, yeah, go check it out. This is the one where I went on a bit of a rant about the Jiggly Bits.
I'm sorry. This is like a golden retriever puppy. Or maybe a
golden retriever. It's too long for golden retriever. Okay, we're not arguing dog mount breeds. Okay, we're not going to talk about it. So, anyways,
this dog probably isn't that sure of its parentage, and we don't mind, but it's not a wiener dog.
Anyway,
wieners might have been involved in the conception, but I don't want to talk about that.
I don't want you to talk about that either. It's like Harry and Leonor talking about their scratching last week.
Harry and Leonor, I wasn't even here last
Bill
week.
Bill and Leonor. Anyways, go check it out if you are interested in Echo of Soul. That's the one where I ranted about the jiggly bits on the girls and the lack of coverage of said jiggly bits, and the jiggling of the jiggly bits being quite near obscene in their jiggliness. Yeah. Anyways,
you never see guys with a jiggly bit.
And that's the thing. The worst thing that they had with the guy was like a really low-cut armor top.
I'm reminded of the movie History of the World Part 1, which is a must-see, by the way. Mel Brooks' classic movie. There's one scene in ancient Rome where a woman is telling her male guards to go to quick-time march for obvious reasons. And that's something... I mean... If we're doing this with boobies, we should do it with...
They shouldn't do it with that game. It was not...
Wieners.
It was not... I don't think it was a very... I did not enjoy that. I have actually not gone back and played that game since then. I was just and the whole. I know I'm bringing it up again, but I have to mention it because it bugged me so much. The whole gender locking of character classes.
Can you imagine the reactions on Reddit if male characters would actually have a jiggly bit that bounced up and down when they were running? Can you imagine the response of guys when they would see that? They would call it demeaning.
Yeah.
They would call it all kinds of terrible words.
No, they wouldn't. They just you can see that guy's junk.
No, I'm pretty sure that would be too confronting, because the thing that they see on screen will be infinitely bigger than their own.
All right. On that note, Harry,
that's the analogy. This is what happened to. I don't know how many women you know in real life, but they rarely look like that in game.
On that note, Harry, how can people get a hold of us?
Believe it or not, this was my feminist point of view. They can get hold of us and lynch us and burn effigies of us. But our website, you can go to our website, which is MMOreporter.com. Email us if you have any complaints about the contents of this podcast. You go to email mmo.reporter@gmail.com. Our Facebook page, like us if you like us, facebook.com/MMOreporter. Tweet at MMO_reporter or at Harry Hall or at Leonor or at MMO Bill. And finally, we haven't had a voicemail in years. That phone is so dusty. Please call us on 616-666-6778. That number again, 616-666-6778.
You can do better than that, Harry. Come on. And the number again is 616-666-6778. Come on, you can do
This is movie phone. Okay. And finally, Chris has a Zerg ID, which is Almazar, and the less said about that, the better. And Leonor has a Zerg ID, and that's Leonor. I actually have a Zerg ID.
Do you?
And I probably do. I've signed up for it, and I've forgotten my Zerg ID.
That's funny.
I don't really care about Zerg ID. So that's it. That's the way you can contact us. And finally, the most important thing, all the video productions that MMO Reporter puts out, can see them at youtube.com/MMO Reporter Network.
Yep.
And if you have any trouble watching those videos, you go to mmoreporter.com/support, I guess. I don't know. Oh, wait. No, that's if you want to support our network. Oh, my God. This is really stupid. I was thinking we have a help desk somewhere in India. But no, it's actually, we need your help. It's not that we're going to help you. You need to help us.
Oh, and Harry needs so much help.
Yeah. Anyway, mmoreporter.com/support if you want to support us.
Yes. Well, thank you, Harry. That was a lot of fun.
Usually when I have problems, I go to anything/support.
You have many, many problems.
I have many support URLs in my...
Yes, you do. Thanks, Harry, for coming out. Thanks to our fantastic chat room for coming out and hanging out with us today. Sir Mr. Clean, Hagu, and a few other people in there. And thanks to all of you for downloading the podcast week after week. We really appreciate it. We hope that you download it again next week. But most importantly, we hope to see you in game.
Don't forget about your ults you need to cherish. Each and every little character you've got, no matter what level they're at. Don't forget about your ults you need to cherish.
Thanks for watching the video, everybody. Don't forget to check out all the other podcasts at MMOreporter.com or by clicking on any of the links here. And please check out our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MMOreporter. Thanks, everyone, and see you in game.